And we are live. We're live. I'm so happy to be having you, Paulina, in the studio. So let me share the link so that guys can join. Meanwhile, you can be telling us, Paulina, how is your quarantine taking you? How is UK? What's going on?
Quarantine in UK is going well. I think in 4 days, like more shops is gonna be open, and we slowly get out of the quarantine. So fingers crossed, it's gonna be just better in the future. And yeah, it's good. As I told you, like we were talking about this before, I was doing everything in my house. I cleaned everything. I did everything what I could just do. So can't wait to
Wow.
finish.
Wow. Wow, that's nice. I'm just like really so happy to have you here, Paulina. You're a great friend. I was really lucky to meet you at Cinematographer Film Festival.
Yeah.
And many people say that cinematography is a job for men,
Yeah.
but you've proven us wrong. You've proven the society wrong by being one of the cinematographers that I've seen, young cinematographers. So, to introduce yourself, tell us what do you do, Pauline?
Of course. I'm Paulina Masternak. I'm coming originally from Poland, and for over 4 years, I'm doing cinematography for films. And I also study in UK. I'm graduating this year. Actually, I finished all my lessons, so I could say I graduated already this year.
Yeah.
And I was studying also cinematography and light course. And coming back to your thing, I also very happy I could meet you on the Cinema de Mar. And I don't know if you know, but tomorrow, if not coronavirus, like we could have Cinema de Mar again, because I think last year it was starting on the 12th of June, isn't it? So
Wow, I know Madam Mare, really, and it's
yeah,
coming back again. Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming back in July. I saw an update that Cinema Damare will be back in July. And in case you're watching us and you're wondering what Cinema Damare is, this is a film festival that Paulina and I both attended. It happens in Italy every year, and it brings together 100 filmmakers from different parts of the world to make films together. And it's a fun festival. We go through so much adventure to be able to, put together a great festival. So, Paulina, we are happy to have you, and I'm gonna play something that you did so that I can get into the question. Today we are discussing about visual storytelling, and yeah, with a special focus to a cinematographer's eyes. So we're expecting you, Paulina, to share with us some of the insights on cinematography. So I'm gonna play the film that you did when you came to Kenya called Jaboya, and then I want you to tell us more about that film before even we start the discussion. So here we go. Okay, as we go on, I'm gonna play for you other works that Paulina has done, because you all know that early this week, we had Sebastian Klorak coming here, and they've been working together with Paulina closely. So in most of the movies he directed, Paulina was doing the cinematography. But before we go there, Paulina, tell us about the movie that you just made in Kenya in December last year. Tell us about that.
Lovely. Yeah. So as we mentioned before, the Cinema de Mare Festival. In I think October or November, there was extension for Cinema de Mare Italy Festival in Kenya for the first time ever. So we went there and we made this independent film called Jaboya. Jaboya is the system, which was now and in the past in Kisumu. And basically it means sex for fish. And yeah, basically we're just telling a story about the system which is presented in the fisherman society, like living near Victoria Lake. And yeah, and of course we just want to make the audience aware of this problem, and this everything is related with spreading AIDS in Kenya as well. And yeah, the plot, because it's fictional film, like lots of people are asking if it's a documentary or fiction, but it's fiction film. It's gonna be around 40 minutes. It's still in post-production, and it's gonna come out hopefully in July. We're gonna see. And the plot. So the plot of the film is about Sanapei. That's our main character. So she and her daughter, Zabadi, are moving out to Kisumu. They coming from the Maasai tribe and coming to Kisumu. There's a Luo tribe. So we're just following the story of them, of accumulation, how they adjust themselves, like in the new environment of the fisherman world, or of the new roles of Jaboya, basically. So yeah, that's what we telling the story about. And yeah, we were shooting this film like more or less 2 weeks. And that was, I guess, November, not October, as I said before. That was November last year. And I think that's the biggest project, like, of my personal ones. So that's my little baby. And yeah, I think that's
Amazing, Paulina. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Now, I wanted to ask you a question about cinematography. You've been doing cinematography, for quite, an amount of time, maybe a number of years now. Tell us about your story. How you left Poland, and why are you studying in the UK now? And how did you begin your cinematography life? Maybe
okay.
that's starting point. Yes.
Okay, lovely. So actually, I'm gonna tell, like, from super beginning. Okay, so actually I didn't start from cinematography straight away. So when I was 12, me and my best friend Dominica, um, we were doing this videos, like series, like mini series, from the games. And we were like coming out with the stories and everything, and we were uploading them on YouTube. And yes, that was our first experience with filmmaking, because, like, of course, there was the whole plot. We were shooting, we could edit films at age of 12. We were using green screens and everything, so that sounds fun. We were doing this like for 2 years, and then we stopped because we were just too ashamed of of our stories. I remember when we were showing this to our teacher at, I think that was primary school, actually, still. And like, me personally, I was going out of the classroom because I was just too ashamed to show my films to the teachers. Yeah, but that was like the first thing, and by this time I was like, yeah, they were filmed. And then after, I had this break, very long break. And then I went to art school in Poland, in Katowice. And actually, we had the film and photography subject, but that was like more for photography. And but we had this project from the sculpture, and they asked us. I don't remember the topic exactly, but they asked us to bring our own projects. And I brought film for sculpture, which was like interesting. Like everyone, of course, like brought some sculpture, of course, but the teacher was like really surprised, and he really enjoyed that. So my first film was about, I mean, that was like abstraction, but basically I recorded all of the noisy things, like the noise of the sea, or I had a balloon and I was just like destroying the balloon with the sharp objects, and I muted the whole soundtrack. So so basically the audience, when they were watching the film, they could like still kind of hear the sounds of it, because like you know how the sea sounds, you know, or stuff. So even the sound was muted. It's like you were just replaying the sounds in your head. Yeah. And so my tutor, he really enjoyed that idea, and he was actually like saying me things to continue this project. But of course I didn't. And then yeah, and then I had break again. And just at the end of my art school, which was my kind of college, I could say, there was this international film festival, which is called 48 Hours. And basically, this festival is based on the rules which tells you to shoot a film in 48 hours. Basically, it's very simple. And my friend from art school, he invited me to join the crew, so I can, you know, like be as support, as assistant. And yeah, and I said yes, why not? And I went there, and I was like really surprised. Like the crew was professional. I mean, half professional, let's say. Um, but like for me was super nice and interesting. I've never seen that before. Um, and yeah, that's how it started. I was just at the end of my art school, and so just after there was I had to do a choice about my uni. And yeah, I decided that I'm gonna connect my art with film, which is together it's just cinematography, and that's all of my parts which I really enjoy in it. So yeah, I decided to study cinematography, and that was in UK after. So after I moved there, that's
Wow.
how it all started. Very long story.
So, Paulina, because I know you have very important things to discuss about film school. How important was your film school in helping you become the cinematographer you are today?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, like my school was really important. I mean, this could be any school from UK, that they gave me a language confidence and opportunity to meet like other people from other countries. You know, I could see like other cultures and just basically meet internationals, because like in Poland, so when I was at school, there was no one international. It's um, it's actually very different. So I was just with Polish people always and everywhere. So I think this helped me to open up more. And then to narrow this down now, the film school, of course, gave me like technical knowledge about cameras, about how to use studio properly. What is really nice about UK schools is that there's so much practice lessons. Yeah, it's so much practical work in there. I mean, theory as well, but definitely it's much bigger pressure on the practical side of it. That was one of the reasons why I went there, actually. And then of course, as a school, I had opportunity to collaborate with other student filmmakers, and that's also very crucial because filmmaking is team working and collaboration and about making contacts and everything. So yeah, I think that's one of the important things. And oh, actually there's one more, which so it can sound bad, but I'm really good about it actually as well, because so school forced me to do things which I don't like, like doing presentation, like public presentation, or doing pitching, or writing an essays. Oh, I hate writing essays, but because I was forced to do it because I had deadlines and everything, so I did this, and I'm so grateful for it, because actually, like, I started to love doing research because of it, and yeah, it just opened for me new opportunities which on my own I could not do, because like it's just coming out of your comfort zone basically. So yeah, I'm really grateful my school forced me to do it, because I could not do this on my own, to be honest.
Yes.
And yeah, but yeah, and that's all. I think, I think it's all depends of your personal like engagement, or of your own responsibility for your career. So you can go to film school and you can have nothing after, and you can don't go to film school and you can do a cinematographer career if you really want to. I think it's about your attitude more, and if you taking this seriously, and if you're really involved into what you want to do, and not just waiting for results for just to happen itself, because it's not gonna happen itself. Even when you go to film school, it's not gonna give you anything if you just going there because you think they're gonna give you film opportunities for nothing. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, Paulina, I'm going to the work that you've done, and so that I can now get into asking you questions. So, I'll play some of the work you've done with Sebastian. I'm very sorry that I couldn't upload your tutorial today, because, of course, I had not given you the right specifications, but I'll play some of the work that you've done with Sebastian as a cinematographer. And following that, I'm going to ask you a few questions here and there about this. So let me play it, and then we get back to it. So here we go.
Wait. Stefan! може да си купим билетите, може да си купим визите. И всъщност наистина да отидем в Америка. И знаеш, че веднъж като стигнем там, всичко е супер лесно. Мога да ти покажа всичките неща. Извиняй. Трябва да тръгнем. Може би трябва да се прибереш у вас. Знаеш какво? Това може би за теб беше някаква грешка. Може би за тебе беше някаква игра, да си играем на актриси, да ходим в Холивуд. Тра-ла-ла.
Io qui Tommaso. Mi fermo.
Non è invece sì. Ma cosa sta finendo qui?
Ciao Lisa! Lisa, guarda! Guarda che bella, guarda!
Tommaso, ok. Tommaso, d'accordo? Io parlo un attimo con lei e siamo di nuovo da te. Va bene. Ehi.
Akimoha na shuka, akimera maikarathe oire kahiũ akĩmatinia cha. Enyũmba ya mwari witũ,
Enyumba ya mawe rito,
enyũmba ya mwari witũ ĩgitĩtwo na ithanjĩ cia ng'ombe.
Знам, че го прави заради
Enyũmba
мен.
ya mwari witũ ĩgitĩtwo na ithanjĩ na icũthĩ cia ng'ombe. Enyũmba ya mwari witũ ĩgitĩtwo na ithanjĩ na icũthĩ cia ng'ombe.
Парите са си много важна работа, така че. Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, the never down. Money.
Wow. So I know Paulina, first of all, yeah, so I know Paulina for a long time you've worked together with Sebastian, and you guys, I got a chance to work with you guys in Cinematographer. We did the movie Just a Girl. You guys made me act. I've never acted. It was my first time acting. And I have to say, on behalf, like maybe to tell you something, is that you were different. Like it was really nice working with you guys. I learned a lot. And I remember, Paulina, we worked together also on the set where Rogerio was also making a film, and you are a cinematographer, and I saw you get down and dance. I saw you taking all those camera angles. Oh my God. It was just like, I was just like staring at you and saying, is this a woman? Oh my God, she is really good at what she does. And so I want to ask you, Paulina, when it comes to cinematography, when you're given a job and you're told, this is a film, I want you to be the cinematographer, what are some of the things you put in place to ensure that you give the best results to your director?
Okay, so like first of all, of course, you need to read the script and go through it with the director, just to understand exactly what's the director's vision for the film, because of course that's one of the main roles of the cinematographer, to make as much as we can, as best as we can, the vision of director. Then so usually you can do mood board. So after reading the script and underlying like the most important things or keywords basically, or if you've got any questions to the director, which you can discuss later, and then you can, I'm gonna tell maybe my way. So after reading a script, I'm always doing the mood board, or even before actually. First thing what I'm doing is I'm opening the Google Doc document, and I'm just writing I'm just doing notes. So I'm reading the script, doing notes. Then I'm doing mood board, thinking about or inspirations, like how I see more or less the style, or in general the mood. And then of course the rest, like you can just discuss with your director, and just because you can't do like everything on your own, because it's the collaboration process. So yeah, you just continue to work on it, and till director is happy, and I'm happy, and yeah, then we go for searching some locations, you know, for thinking about solutions if there's like any problems with it's also all depends of the budget, like, so you see there's like so many things, so of course it all depends of the project, but yeah, definitely there is this kind of pattern sometimes what you're doing. So outline and just do the keywords for the script, do mood board. It's really important because you can like get some ideas from other sources, you know, or maybe you saw recently something, or you know, like some kind of solutions which gonna work for the script. And then yeah, just let's start working with director and just do the vision. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so Paulina, I wanted to ask you. So now you already have the mood board, and now it's time to go to set. How do you make sure that as a cinematographer you stick to your boundaries? Because you know I've been on many sets where I've seen director fighting with cinematographer, and they end up time. So, like, how are you able to advise the director in a good way, in such a way that you're not fighting with the director, but you're just able to work together as a team and achieve something great out of your work? Paulina?
Okay. I'm gonna say that I never work with any. I mean, I never fight it. Sorry, I never fight it with any director before. So that means that's good. And I don't know. Like, I think as cinematographer, you should be just balanced a little bit. You know, you should be like okay, it's not just your film, okay? You're working in the team, and if you're closed and if you're thinking like you know all the best, then you're gonna fight with your director, basically. So you just need to like at least give a chance to director to like for communication. I mean, you just the communication is the key, and you should like take care of it like before the set, because like on the set we focus on the work and we prepare before to not waste time on the set. And so that's another thing, preparation, like pre-production. It's one of the key things as well, like one of the most essentials. So just to, and it's very important to do this together, maybe, you know, to not work as only individual, just to keep working together and just build up this relationship between the cinematographer and the director, to so later it works. And if you see it doesn't work somehow in pre-production and you just don't understand, like, because maybe sometimes the directors they think they know all the best and stuff, so just don't do projects with a person like this. Like, if you're gonna, you know, just if it's just gonna make you tired and mad, why to do this, you know? Just when you're choosing the project, maybe on the beginning, you know, it's when you're starting as cinematographer, you know, each project is super important, but then if you're getting more and more, be selective. Just select project which you really enjoy, like You know, after you're making many films, you're thinking more about the story, you know, not about other things. It's if you really enjoy the project, if the director is really good person to work with, and that's the key things. So if in prep that you can't just communicate properly with your director, just don't do it.
Okay. So Paulina, tell us your journey. How did you, get to where you are in terms of cinematography? How many films have you done? And how do you think you've benefited from the experience of having, attended festivals like Cinema da Mare and other places so that you're able to really express yourself as a cinematographer and grow in your art? And also, are there any people that you admire who do cinematography in a particular way that have really mentored you in your journey in cinematography?
Yes. Okay. So of course there's so many so many things which could which like help me improve myself in the cinematography. And first of all is of course uni. So there I get my all the basic experience, like how to use cameras, as I said before, also like how to cooperate with other people. And but it's not the only thing. I was always focused also on other projects. I wasn't thinking just about uni because I like, as I said, like it's good to take responsibility for what you're doing, and so I was trying to do as much as I can. So instead of uni project, I was doing my own personal projects, and I was also being camera trainee on more professional shoots. So I was like doing 3 things at the same time, which is the basic is uni, the essential. Then I was doing my own personal films in meantime when I had time, because like at my uni, let's say per year we were doing like 4 films, something like this. So of course I had some time to work on my own projects as well. And then to keep it going up, I was very often assisting, or just as I said, being camera trainee on more professional shoots, just to see people better than me, you know, just to see their workflow. Sorry, and yeah, so I think that's good combo, you know, just to trying to like increase each of the elements. And then oh yeah, of course. And sorry, that was very huge question, and there's so much content into it. And then so I was doing this till time of exactly last year. So till last year, a year ago, sorry. And then we went for Cinematographer festival, and that was a brilliant experience. That was super cool. I think one of the most important aspects of my cinematography development, because I was shooting all the time for 3 months, and I did, I don't know how many films, like 20 or 20 something, so many. And I felt such confidence with my camera that if you could wake me up in the middle of night and tell me to shoot, I'm gonna go and shoot, you know. So that was super good. And after this point, everything went very easy, you know, because I built up my portfolio very quickly. I had lots of footage. I had so many stories to tell. So when I had like any interviews with other directors or with directors mainly and producers, like they were always impressed, like, oh, like how many projects, and this all sounds really good. So that was like really, really good point that the Cinema de Mar Festival helped me like definitely a lot. And then after there was the Cinema de Mar, but in Kenya. So then I felt confident enough to do longer films. So yeah, as I mentioned, Jaboya is like 40-minute long, which is almost a feature. It's like half of it, but we are halfway there.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Paulina. Sorry for cutting you short because I want you to talk to us about even more things. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Seeing Jafflet, you're saying great. Real Chris Calix, you're saying good. Kindness Adebayo, thank you for tuning in. I can sense you're from Nigeria. Thank you for tuning in. You're saying nice and great. Winfred Mutinda, thank you, my friend, for tuning in. You're saying great to see you, Rachel, and your guest, Paulina Masternak. Winfred, you're also saying that, wow, that film was awesome. Rachel, I saw you as an actress in the film. It's impressive. Oh, my God. I can tell you for a fact that I used to tell people that I will never act. I can never make a good actress. So
never say never.
Thank you so much. I love you guys a lot. You had to do 20 takes to get what they are seeing now, so they don't know the journey. But yeah, thank you so much. It's when you have a good director and you have a good cinematographer, then you're able to deliver very well. Then also,
but tell me now if you're gonna do this again. Tell me if you're gonna act again now.
I think when I'm forced to, I'll act. I would rather.
What that means when you're forced to it.
Wow, it's good. So also Stan Prixari, thank you for tuning in. He's actually the Chidemini as well from Italy, and I also saw Anna Soares had joined. I saw Jasper Mattsson from Sweden had joined. So many people have joined. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, Charles Karaoke, Javier Bears. Thank you so much for joining in. I can see you all, and thank you for keeping us company in this chat. So, Paulina, coming back to the basics, what equipment do you use, and what's the value of equipment in cinematography? Like, is it important to have good equipment when you're doing cinematography? And what other knowledge do you have? Do you have some knowledge in lighting and other things that concern cinematography that make your work come out better?
So I'm working mainly on the Blackmagics, and I own my own Blackmagic. That's why I'm doing all my personal projects on it, and I think it's enough for my level of just filmmaking for now. I think it's enough, and I can achieve things which I want to. And anyway, if you want to have better cameras, I think no one actually buy the expensive cameras like normally, you renting the much more expensive equipment if you just have budget and you're doing productions. So mainly that was Blackmagic. I was also shooting on Canon C300, Mark 1, Mark 2, on the Red, Alex Damini, and Blackmagic Ursa, and like many Blackmagics basically. I love the quality of Blackmagics. About the equipment, if it's important, like of course it is important, and everything looks better on the better camera. But the thing is, if you don't know how to use it properly, like that's not gonna help you. anyway. I guess like you should start first with learning about cinematography and then buying expensive equipment. And I'm really good example of it because partially I did this opposite. So when I came to UK, we bought like some some of them were alright, like Blackmagic and stuff, but we also bought some equipment like Steadicam, you know, and stuff like this, which I couldn't really use just on the beginning. And yeah, now I see like we could spend that money like for much better purpose. But yeah, we're learning all the time. So yeah, just focus more on the cinematography itself than on the super nice equipment. Like Blackmagic is enough for the beginning if you're starting, and it's not that expensive. But if you've got like just DSLR, it's also good for beginning. You know, just start with the camera you've got, and maybe just put this limit. Like let's say, okay, I'm gonna do 10 films on this camera, and I'm gonna improve by this moment, and then I will think about other equipment. And then you're gonna see if you're actually into the cinematography first, because maybe you're gonna do one film and you're gonna be like, nah, not for me. Or you're gonna do those 10 films, you're gonna improve more, and then you're gonna know which camera you're gonna use, because your knowledge is gonna go up as well. So yeah, definitely equipment is important, but not the most important on the beginning. Later it is getting harder, especially on the more professional shoots. When I was a camera trainee or first AC or anything, then there is then it's good to know things and how it all works, the equipment, because you're responsible for it. Like you help me out with mounting the camera, with mounting the cables and everything. So then if you're starting going on the professional, but then you don't need to buy this equipment, of course, it's all rented. But you just, I meant more about knowledge about this equipment. It's required, but you don't need to own it to get knowledge. There's so many tutorials accessible everywhere, on YouTube, on Vimeo, on there's very nice website, Linda.com. All of the students from our uni, they had access for this website, and if we wanted just to get to know like how to use some kind of equipment or whatever, like we could just go there and watch it. And so yeah, if you know you're gonna go on the set and there's like some piece of equipment which you don't know how to use, just check it out. Yeah, of course, hopefully it's not the main camera and you DOP, so don't do it, because that's not really responsible. But if it's just like small piece, like you can learn it, and yeah, just be prepared on the set. And wow. Sorry, what was the other part of the question?
Okay. So I think you answered the question adequately, Paulina. And so I wanted to know, so you've been given a job to go and shoot. And first of all, I want you to tell me, Paulina, have you worked on any professional film sets, like a feature film? And what were you doing in those feature films? And how did you benefit from that experience of working in a feature film?
Yes. So I didn't work on many feature films. That was free. And I was working as camera trainee, as first AC, which is first assistant of camera. And again as a first AC. So again, first assistant of camera. That was really good for me because so basically when I'm working on my own personal projects, I'm always working as DOP. And I just realized, and actually at uni as well, so that was my mistake a little bit, because I always was DOP, you know, DOP and the camera op. And I didn't do other roles, so I never actually didn't see exactly how other DOPs working, you know, and I think that's really important. That's like super important, to be honest. So the feature films, they gave me opportunity for it. So as a first AC, of course, I was working very closely with DOP. So there was this film called Bloodhound. It's like criminal film. It's gonna be out soon. I think there's even official trailers for it. You can find it on the Facebook. Yes, so I could see the workflow of much more experienced DOPs than me, and I could just learn it from it and just improve my own workflow, you know. And the camera trainee was also super interesting because and I mean the camera trainee was actually a little bit more professional, and so I could I actually had for the like I had the contact with the film set lingo, which is like, of course, like film set language, which is crazy for me. There's like so many names for everything, and they doesn't sound as the thing what you could normally call. So basically, it's like separate language for film language, and that's actually interesting. You know, that's why it's very important to not do just your own personal thing, but do at the same time a little bit of professional, because you're not gonna learn everything from yourself, isn't it? You need to learn from others who are more experienced than you. And yeah, sorry, what was the question?
Okay, so Pauline, I think there's is there sound, guys? I think there's sound. I can hear the sound. I'm also checking on my phone. Yeah, there's sound. George, check your connection. Lillian is joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Jason, I can see you. Thank you for tuning in. This is amazing listening to your story, Paulina. And I wanted to ask you a question, because I've realized like it's like you have a personal style of like techniques that you use in cinematography. Are you the tripod kind of girl, or do you like moving, or
Definitely not tripod.
So tell us a bit your cinematography style, and also because there are young filmmakers tuned in and they want to learn, what's the importance of having your own personal style as a cinematographer? Yeah, and also okay, I'll ask you the next question after you answer those. I don't want you to forget.
I'm gonna forget.
Okay.
So okay, as I said, I'm not tripod girl. I mean, from the experience, I was doing like much more moving shots, like on the running, like tracking shots, dolly shots. I love movements. I love long shots. I'm very inspired by Emanuel Lubezki, who was loving long shots, and so yeah, master shots are just me. And but I wasn't doing this only because of this reason. I was doing moving shots of to save some time, which can sound wrong because moving shots can sound like time consuming than tripod scenes. But what I personally think is the time consuming is what you're doing between. I mean, so basically you're doing, for example, static shots on the tripod, and then you changing again for the running, and then you need to like rig up the camera and rig down and everything. So that's time consuming, the breaks between. But if you're working just on the tripod all the time doing statics, that's quick. But also it's very quick on the running if you're doing all of the tracking shots and moving shots. That was pretty. So, for example, Jaboya is a super good example of it. I decided to do like literally the majority of the film is made on the running on the this moving shots to save time. And because of course I don't know how many days we were shooting, like 12 or something like this, so that's really not much. And I think one of the days was also like location recce and everything, so I could see this as the only option to actually do this film. So I had this kind of limitations, which were okay for film because I think it really worked with the movements like that. And yeah, and yeah, the moving shots. What I was supposed to say later? The question?
So let me ask you another question. I think you've answered. It was about your style, and I wanted to ask
about my style.
how important.
Okay.
Yeah. So how important is it for a cinematographer to own their own style, to understand what they're good at, and to own their own styles? Also, I wanted to ask you, Paulina, can you shoot any movie, or do you have some certain genres of movies that you can shoot and other genres you prefer not to shoot?
Yeah. So about the style, I think when you're young cinematographer, there is no need for having your own personal style. I don't have my own personal style yet. I mean, I have some things which I prefer to do, some genres, as you said, like which I prefer to do, and but I don't consider this as my personal style. I think your personal style is coming itself after hard work and many years of experience. So I don't have my own style, but the genres or some maybe camera techniques which I use mostly in the projects are definitely realism. And I was telling this in my previous class. I don't know if there are some students who are on my previous class, but I was saying there about the importance of realism for me in the film, and also so the realism and lighting. I'm using also natural lighting. I'm shooting genres. My favorite genres are dramas, of course, post-horrors, thrillers, and horrors I like as well, because the technical side of it is amazing, and you can show yourself very well, like on the horror film, and you can get very good portfolio on it. So that's that's my, I think, personal taste about the project which I'm choosing. And coming to your next question, if I'm shooting all of the projects and if I can shoot any genre, like, no. I'm not gonna shoot any genre, and because if okay, I'm not saying that like I don't like other genres to watch, but I prefer to choose projects which I feel connection to and I like the genre of, and you know, in which I can be really because I don't perceive cinematography as work, you know. I mean, there is work, but I'm doing this because I love it. So I'm choosing projects which I love it, which the genre is good for me, which that's the story just really catch my heart, and then I can work on it as long as it's needed. You know, why I am supposed to make my way harder and just choose any projects because they are there. I don't see the point of doing this. And yeah, so it's all depends of the script, to be honest, and I'm not gonna do all of the genres because yeah, as I said, I'm only choosing the projects which I enjoy and which I really feel I want to do. Rachel? Okay, I think Rachel is gone. Okay, I'm just gonna message her quickly because I don't know what happened, guys. Okay, I think she's coming back.
And then also, I'm going to ask you another question for that. Mhm. Okay, yeah. I think answer that question from Jason. Sorry about the technical challenges, guys. Sorry. Okay.
No,
Paulina, over to you.
technical issues, but it's fine. I think I can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, we had some issues literally from the morning, and that's why we had 1 hour delay. But I don't know what's going on. We just need to wait for Rachel.
Hello. Sorry
Hello.
about the network. Happy we are back. Today we are having some connectivity issue, so please pardon us. And I'm happy Paulina stayed on board. So there's a question from Jason that he asked, "What's been your favorite project of all time, and why?" And also, thank you guys for staying here. For this, we're going to come back to the questions very soon. So, Paulina, answer that question, then we move on.
My favorite project was Jaboya, of course, and the one which we were watching some fragments like at the beginning. Why? Because of my favorite sound designer, Jason Amkos. And yeah, like, oh, it's just another long story why I love this project. It was, of course, I did very long research about Jaboya itself, so I was really related with it from pre-production. As I said, that was my little baby, and then of course I went for the first time to Africa, and I had opportunity to meet locals there. We were shooting with locals. That was the biggest project also, so that's really obvious reasons why it's my favorite one.
Okay, so Paulina, I just wanted to, before as we end, and thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Let me just read a few comments here because it's a discussion. Thank you, Karen, for tuning in. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Brighton, from Amsterdam. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Stanprick. Thank you, Alvin from Nigeria, for watching. I can see so many people are following up this discussion. And one of the last things I want to ask you, because I know we are also running out of time, of our scheduled time for this broadcast, I wanted to ask you, Paulina, if you were asked to give advice to an upcoming cinematographer, what advice would you give them to kickstart their career in cinematography?
Okay, lovely. Yeah, I know this one. So ask questions to people who are more professional than you. Don't be afraid, just ask them how they started. I'm doing this for each single time, and I can tell you there's like two things which are repeating very often. So one of the things is, of course, going a very official way. So starting from the runners and camera trainees, going up into the camera assistants, then going up till time you are a cinematographer. And of course, you're making contacts on the networking. And the other way is, which is repeating very often when I'm speaking with other cinematographers, is making your own list of contacts, like directors, and just, even if you don't know them, just try to find some directors with who you could cooperate and contact with them. you can meet up and just talk about some projects, and yeah, that's also very often way how people, and they going straight away into DOP's roles, you know, sometimes because the director is searching for DOPs mainly. That's the main relationship. So that's one of the tips. Yeah, the pre-production is the most important thing ever. If you prepare it, you can improvise more on the set, and when there is some problem, you only focus on the problem, not about other things that, oh no, I'm not really prepared with storyboards or with shots or with whatever, because that's done already. So you just focus on the problem, which is, because there's always some problems, and it's just much quicker. Yeah, and oh, there's one good one as well. So watch many films, because yeah, what I used to say is that when you're watching a film, you can't see directors' workflow, you know, directors' methods of working, but you can see DOP's methods of working. You can see, because he's responsible for visuals, so you can see this on the screen. What you're watching is what the methods are, you know. You straight away learning from the best cinematographers. So watching films, and but not just watching them and that's it, you forget about it, you know, it's just analyzing them. So you stopping, you analyze why this shot is for this kind of scene, why they use this lens, why they use this focal length for the particular scene, you know. Because all of those information you can get just by watching films. And if you're doing this quite regularly, then you can realize that it's repeating, you know, and that's the basic rules. So you can learn those basic rules, like about, or even about blocking actors. That's really important also, just to learn how to block actors within the frame. So even when you have static shots, they're so interesting because there's so much things going on in the foregrounds or backgrounds. Yeah, and do photography maybe in spare time as well. It really helps, but it's also important to remember that photography, it's not a film, and there's a little bit different approach to it, because like photography it's basically just one single picture, but when you're doing photography but for film, you need to remember it's series of pictures and they all need to be in the same style. You can't have like, oh, shitty film and then you've got this one nice shot because you had more time on the set, so you're doing this nicely. Like, you need to remember to be balanced as a work. Yeah, that's all.
Wow. A quick one. How was your experience working with people from Kenya, with young filmmakers from Kenya, from Africa? I think Madamare Africa had all the types of filmmakers, right? So even from other African countries. How was the experience working with filmmakers from Africa, and what do you think about their talent?
Yeah, I had very good experience with my crew, where like the majority was from Africa. We the first day we managed to do preparation day, kind of. So as I said before, I was shooting everything on the run-in. I had my camera assistants, and I I showed them exactly how to build the camera up, how to use the running and stuff, so we could be much quicker on the set. And so I don't know, it took me like 1 hour maybe. Like we were just showing, rebuilding, rigging it down again and rebuilding, you know. And then we didn't have any problems on the set. Like they were really solid. We were working very good. You know, and yeah, I have only like positive things. I was even surprised like it went so quickly, because I was like a little bit worried, you know, okay, they did never work on it and stuff, but 100% professional, and they helped me a lot, and I could not make it without them, of course. So it's really important to have this maybe 1 day of preparation before, to check exactly each equipment before, just to, you know, just to not be stressed even more on the set and thinking about, oh, if it's gonna work or not. And it's really good that you communicate also with your own crew, so it's going smooth as possible as it's possible. Okay, I said as possible as possible. But,
It's okay. It's okay. Paulina. You said it well. So I think because of time, I want to ask you: do you have any upcoming projects that you're doing? Would you love to come to Africa again to shoot? And also, do you take any other role than cinematography? Are you directing a film, writing a film sometimes? Tell us more about that so that we can see you holistically, because we want to see the other skills that you have. Yeah.
yes, so I'm preparing for the project, and I want to shoot this also in Africa. I don't know in what part exactly, but and I don't want to like say too much yet because I'm still on the research part. But maybe the action is gonna take place in Tanzania. So yeah, right now, but you know, that's gonna be at the end of the year or maybe next year, because I was thinking about future, so that's gonna be my debut. So right now, with I'm doing research with my screenwriter, and so at the moment I'm reading this folklore African book, and just exploring all of the cultural traditions and things. And so that's, I mean, of course, that's like not cinematography role, but instead of cinematography, I love doing research for films. So for my personal project, so I think that makes me involved into the projects like much higher level as well, because I feel like it's like my story as well, you know. And so yeah, I'm doing I'm reading the folklore things and thinking about story. And what was the other question? Sorry, I'm like
Answered. Would you like to come back to Africa? Of course, you've answered the question. So thank you so much for that. And before we go, guys, I'm gonna play for you again a teaser for Jaboya movie, which Paulina did in Kenya. It's just a teaser. It's not even a trailer. The movie is not yet released. But I think it's amazing just to see how Africa is so rich with stories. And we need to keep telling these stories because they are our stories. Like, for instance, Paulina is teaching us about Jaboya. I'm very sure like there are so many Africans who don't understand what's that word. Even Kenyans who live even in Kisumu, maybe they don't know that word Jaboya.
yeah.
Sex for fish. It's amazing to see you having done such a good research. So I'm gonna play that clip, and then we're gonna come back to end the show. Okay, we are looking forward to the premiere of that film. How long is it, Paulina? How long is Jaboya?
40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Wow, we are looking forward. Are you going to have a Kenyan premiere of Jaboya?
I hope so. I hope so. I will do my
I'm
best
looking forward. I'm looking
to
forward.
have it as well. And I have one more thing actually.
Oh,
If
yes.
there is some filmmakers, African filmmakers, who wants to share with me some African stories as well, because as I said, I'm doing this research for folklore. If someone has time and or just want to share like their own cultural story, you know, where you just based, I'm really happy to talk and just to exchange some knowledge. I'm gonna be very grateful because, of course, like the best research I can do from personal stories, not from books. So just let me know, guys, and you can message me and yeah, just that. And I just wanted to thank you, everyone, to listening to me, and hopefully I could help somehow. I'm not experienced cinematographer, and but I can just pass something what I learned so far, and I hope you enjoyed that because I enjoyed very much. And thank you, Rachel, for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Lena. We've indeed learned a lot from you. We wish we had more time. I think we'll call you back again because we've not even covered half of what we wanted to cover because you're so interesting and you have. I thank you so much for being vulnerable and for sharing your story. And if in case you want to get in touch with Paulina, her name is on the screen. You can just write it down and then you can check her up on Facebook on that name and get in touch with her and collaborate. You know, this show is about connecting people with other people to collaborate, make films. That's the whole issue here. We are learning from each other. We are having an exchange program with each other. And if you're doing something nice and you also want us to also like be part of it, let us know. Come, we'll welcome you here into this show. And Paulina, just so you know, YFP Africa has people, audiences from all the countries in Africa. We are bringing the young youth in Africa together, and they're all filmmakers. So for any other also filmmaker who's watching out there and you're looking to collaborate with a young filmmaker in Africa, this is the right place. Get in touch with us, and we'll also be able to connect you to these young filmmakers. Also, you can give us what you're doing and we can put it on our page so that we connect the world together. I'm so happy about this quarantine moment in which we discovered things like this and we are able to connect. And very nice to see you, Paulina, once again. I'm sorry about the technical challenges. The show was 1 hour late, but it was lit. We've learned a lot from it.
I think,
and
you know, I can't feel my back anymore because I'm sitting here like for 3 hours. But it's okay.
Yeah, so we apologize about that. And also, like, I really enjoyed seeing you in Kenya, like going to the national park together, and we saw a lion together.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to see you back again in Kenya. And you're welcome anytime to come back to Kenya, to Africa, and let's continue working together, guys. That's the way we are going to conquer. And remember, there's the Africa AU Agenda 2063 that I keep talking about, which says that
what? Sorry?
African Union Agenda 2063, which says that, you know, the youth will have taken up leadership, you know, in some years to come. And so we need to get prepared. We need to get prepared and we need to get on the table. We need to get organized as young African filmmakers. And as you've heard from Paulina, from myself, we are all products of collaboration. We've worked together. we went to platforms where we were connected together with each other. So don't give up on yourself. Keep the talent going. Keep confidence in yourself, and keep connecting with other filmmakers. And the sky can never be the limit for you. So even for us as well. So we are not sharing because we are professionals or we are the pros. No, we are sharing what we have learned, and we'd like to hear even from you guys. What have you learned? What can you teach us? And we learn from each other, and that's the way life is. And we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can see already Winfred is saying she would like to meet you. She'd like to meet once you're in Kenya because you're really inspiring. So when you come to Kenya, I'll hook you up with Winfred, and I'll also hook you up on the internet. She's an engineer, by the way. So these are women breaking glass ceilings, women doing what they cannot do. And I'm really proud of you, Paulina. Celebrate you. Keep up the art. Keep going. And until next time, guys, next week, Thursday, same time, different guests. I'll see you then. And until then, have a very, very good evening. And I'm sorry for keeping you late for 2 hours, but you still showed up. We really appreciate you. Take care and have a good evening. Bye bye.
Have a good evening, guys.
Bye. Okay.